Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Casillejos, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Anna.
Amy. And I'm Lacey G.
And we decided to make ourselves stress out for a few days. We decided that we wanted to, we haven't had any big arguments lately, so why not do a podcast where we get into some discussions and we get upset with each other? So we are going to be ranking the very last tracks on her albums. Now, they're the very last tracks on the original release.
Yeah.
So these aren't bonus songs. These aren't anything from the vault. These aren't anything from deluxe edition of any albums. Just the very last track on the U.S. release of her albums.
Right.
So we have 9 to choose from. Here's a quick little recap of what those 9 songs are in order of their release.
Our song is a slam and screen door, sneaking out late, tapping on your window, because these things will change. Long live the walls that crash through. I watched it begin again. I think I am finally clean, but I'll be cleaning up bottles with you on New Year's Day. I only see daylight, 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 daylight. Your faithless love's the only hugs I believe in evermore.
So what I do think is the most fun thing about getting to rank these songs with y'all is listening to them on repeat. I had my playlist going yesterday, just listening to these songs, circle again and again and again. I listened to it while I was cooking. I listened to it while I was cleaning. It was just so much fun. So basically, I was working all day yesterday. I just wanted y'all to know, since this is our job. Yeah, I was working, but what a joy to be able to listen to this over and over.
So, like, anytime that we rank, obviously, like, oh my gosh, I really have to think, like, okay, gun to my head, like, what I need to just do. I need to just boom, 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 like, not look back. But I just hearing the little montage, I'm like, oh, this is so difficult. And so the last time that we did a ranking, it was track 9s. And I remember for that one, I ranked that as, like, okay, favorite songs, like, individually, like, head to head. But this time, since it's the album closers, I don't know about you guys, but I ranked them as, like, closing the album.
I know, and I think you did the same thing for the opener.
For, like, the openers, yes.
First track. And I didn't do that way, and I didn't do it this way either.
You did it, like, by
I did it, like, it's my favorite
song.
just no matter where it's placed in the album.
I'm with Amy. That's how I did it.
Because if I did it that way, my list would be different.
I know.
Because, like, the songs that I have at the bottom, I do really like the songs more than some of the other songs.
Yeah.
But it's, like, as an album closer, I think
so we sent out a list to make sure we were all on the same page, but we didn't say how we were ranking them.
Yeah, so we could kind of
did better.
Yeah, whatever. But this should be interesting.
Okay, so
Nick, how did you rank it? We just said how we did. Did you rank it by, like, album closer or by, like, you like the song more than the other song?
I kind of did a little bit of a mix.
Okay.
It was kind of both. I mean, I just have one list. I don't have 2 different lists or anything like that. So it's kind of both. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So they fluctuated.
That's healthy.
They fluctuate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a healthy
Like
balance.
a medium.
So we've gotten a few DMs and emails from people requesting us to do a podcast like this. So here we go. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to start with Debut, which is our song, and then we're just going to work all the way down in order that they were released, and we will say where we rank them 1 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
1 being the best, 9 being, not our favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with our song from Debut. Anna, where does this fall on your list?
Our song for me is at a healthy number 4.
Okay.
Because I mean, this is one of the most iconic Taylor Swift songs of all time.
It really is.
And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. I think it's a great closer to her debut album. It's upbeat. It's fun. She's talking about a song. I mean, y'all know Debut has a very special place in my heart. So I have it at a healthy number 4, I like to say.
All right. Amy?
I have it as a 6.
Okay.
Which I want it to be higher, but since country is not my forte, I ranked it lower. But I love it. I just love other ones more.
Yeah, that's great. Lacey?
I absolutely love this song. I love this song so much, but putting it in order comparatively and where I'm at personally, I kind of rank that way with my emotions instead of just everything else. So it's at an 8 for me. I love her twang. I saw someone on TikTok recently say that whenever she re-records this album, please bring back the country twang. And I hope that she does. I hope that she does. But it is such an adorable, iconic song. And I love it. I love it. I hate putting it at 8.
Gosh, I recently, last week actually, I went to go see Macy Peters in concert.
Right.
And she was fabulous. And she did a little cover of our song.
Oh,
and
cool.
a lot of Macy Peters fans are also Swifties. So it felt like a very wholesome moment. We were all singing our song. Oh my God, it was beautiful.
And you talk real slow.
Is she opening for Olivia Rodrigo?
Macy
No?
Peters?
No. Who's opening for Olivia Rodrigo?
I'm not 100% sure, but Macy Peters is going to be opening for Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
On his tour.
Oh, nice.
So I tied with somebody in this room of where I
Ooh.
ranked our song, and I tied with Anna,
Really?
number 4. Love the
Okay.
song. It's great.
Yes.
Iconic Taylor Swift song. Great way to end the album on an upbeat note.
Mhm.
Love it. So moving on to Change from Fearless. Anna, where does this fall on your list?
This was tough. This was tough for me, but I had to put Change at number 8.
Okay.
And it's I do really like the song, and I do think it's a great album closer, but it really just the other ones just took the cake.
Yeah,
before.
just didn't hit.
Yeah.
Amy?
I'm with Anna. I
Yeah.
have it as number 8.
8.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Lacey?
I love this song and I love what it means for her. I really do. And this will be my political power ballad if I ever run for office or do something that I would never do.
Yes.
But still, this would be it. But it's a 9 for me.
It's a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're all somewhat in agreement. I'm at number 7 here.
Okay,
It's just kind of
yeah.
towards the bottom of most of our lists.
Yeah.
So, good song.
Great song, especially Taylor's version.
Yeah,
You know?
especially her
Absolutely.
getting the power back and
Right.
things have changed. So, I mean, good for her.
And I feel like it does have a different meaning now than it did then. But yeah, it's just when you look at the whole list, unfortunately somebody has to be at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So, on Speak Now, the very last track was Long Live. Anna, where does that fall on your list?
Oh, I have that at number 3.
3.
Yes.
3?
3? Did you say 3? Yes, I have Long Live at number 3 because that is a song that she wrote for her fans and her band and everything. After Speak Now is a completely self-written album, and for her to end that album that she wrote entirely by herself with a song for her fans and her band and performing that live like that, oh gosh, that is just a piece of me. And I love her for writing this song, and so I knew this would be somewhere near the top, so I put it at number 3.
Cool. Amy?
I know I will feel differently whenever we break down Speak Now, but I have it as 9.
9. All the way to the
Yeah,
bottom.
I do. It has. Somewhere had to go.
Someone
there.
has to go 9.
Yeah.
Someone has to go.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
See,
deep breaths,
Anna
deep
and
breaths.
Amy usually butt heads.
We do,
during this.
but it's interesting because I feel like we do agree on a lot,
We
but
do.
we also disagree on a lot.
Yeah. Yes, we
But
do.
I guess that's what you want in a podcast, right?
Lacey, Long Live.
Long Live for me is a 3.
Oh!
I love this song and it gets me every time. Promise me this, that you'll stand by me forever, but if God forbid fate should step in and force us into a goodbye, if you have children someday, when they point to the pictures, please tell them my name. And I read this comment on YouTube and this never even crossed my mind, but someone said that they really appreciated, she said, if you have children someday instead of when you have children someday, because sometimes people choose not to have children. And I know that's been an issue for me. I don't have any children and I've had to explain myself all my life to where it's just annoying. And that is a personal, that was just my decision not to have one. But anyway, I didn't recognize that or even realize that. And I think it's cool that she did it that way, that she worded it that way, because you don't just have to do something because you're expected to do. Do it if that's what you want to do. Don't do it if that's what you want to do. I'm not pushing an agenda on anybody, but I do appreciate that phrasing. And it never even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
So for me, Long Live landed at number 6. It's a good song, kind of middle of the road for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I like somebody, I think I maybe saw this on TikTok, maybe Twitter. Somebody said that whenever they did their high school graduation speech, they quoted Long Live, but a lot of people didn't know that he was like quoting Taylor Swift, so we just got all the credit for like
nice.
these like beautiful words about like, you know, long live the walls we crashed through. Gosh, I want to go listen to it right now.
So last week we broke down Begin Again. That was the very last track on Red. So we just covered it. It's fresh in our minds. So where does this fall? 1 to 9. Anna.
I have this at number 5.
Okay.
Begin Again. I think for all the reasons that we said in the Begin Again episode, like the Red album is, I mean, kind of like she says, like chaotic, passion, anger, love, and everything. And for her to end with a very optimistic note with such a heartbreaking album like the Red album, I think is wonderful. And so I have it at number 5. I will admit, though, I think that if we hadn't talked about it so recently, I think I would have been at a different spot for
Maybe
some
lower?
reason. Maybe a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, number 5.
Amy.
I have it at number 7.
Number 7. Okay. Middle of the pack.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Cool.
It's just how I feel.
Lacey.
Well, weird phase of my life that I'm in. Single but hopeful. Begin Again's number 1 for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just, I've been spending the last 8 months thinking all love ever does is break and burn, and in the end, but on a Wednesday in a cafe, I watched it begin again. And I just love the way that she simplifies it and says it in so many beautiful words that you just don't expect it. And then on an average day, on a Wednesday,
Yeah.
there you go.
It's
and it's
very
happening
hopeful.
once again. Yeah. So
The
that's
pa-
number 1 for me.
The past is the past. It sucked, but hey,
Yeah.
let's move on. So I rank Begin Again at number 5. So right in the middle. Did you say 5A?
Yeah,
Anna?
so we matched
Okay.
again.
Awesome. So yeah, Begin Again, number 5 for me. So now we're going to move on to Clean from 1989. Anna, where do you rank Clean?
I have Clean at number 2.
Wow, pretty high.
I think Clean is, I say this about every song, but I do think it is one of the most beautiful songs that Taylor has. And the 1989 album is a pop masterpiece.
Yep.
And Clean is just so refreshing. And the lyrics are beautiful. And I think it's a perfect bow on a perfect album. So I have it at number 2.
Awesome. Amy?
I wanted to do a 4-way second place tie.
Oh, wow.
I want to so badly, but I can't because I'm gonna follow the rules, and I have Clean as number 2.
Oh,
it took
look at that.
Okay.
it took second place.
Wow.
I feel really, really good about it too. Like you said, it's so refreshing. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
High mark so far. Lacey, Clean.
I think she's just genius to use this kind of comparison to signify the end of a relationship and all traces of it. Just from the, I was drowning, but now I can finally breathe. And I'm 10 months sober. I'm 10 months older. Genius. 4. It's a 4
4.
for me.
Very good. So I rank this as number 1.
Yeah.
It's my favorite final track. I love it. When I'm listening to all of these and I'm thinking about it, this one for me is the most visual. Like when I'm listening to it, I
Water?
can see what she's singing. I see water. She sings about water a lot, but I just love everything that she sings about, all the different whatever visual things she's throwing in there. I just love that feeling, love that vibe. I also just really love the music part of this, the instrumentals of it. You can find just the instrumental online, and it's awesome. Even just without her singing, it's so good. And it's just like Anna said, the perfect bow on a perfect album. 1989 is my favorite album of hers, and so I just love Clean, and I come back to it all the time. So moving on to from Reputation, we got New Year's Day. Anna.
Man, okay, this was really tough for me because New Year's Eve is actually my favorite holiday, and I love New Year's Day. Like, I love everything that she describes, like, you know, cleaning up after the party, cleaning up the bottles, the pictures on the floor, and, like, you're with that person that you, like, celebrated the New Year with. New Year's Eve is my favorite, and she describes it perfectly, and it's wonderful, but I do have this as number 7. I really like the song as it is, but I think the Reputation album, I don't know. I think she closed out the other albums different,
A little better.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah?
And I love the song as it is, but as far as album closers, I do have it at number 7.
Okay. Amy?
I have it as number 3. I also have New Year's Day as my favorite. Not New Year's Eve, but New Year's Day is my favorite holiday of the year. So it's special to me.
Isn't it great when it falls on like a weekend?
Oh, yeah.
How much does it suck when New Year's Day is like a Wednesday?
I mean, we usually get off anyways.
I know, but still, just in general, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
when it's on a weekend, it's a lot more special. Like Halloween, when Halloween falls
Yes,
on a
yeah,
weekend,
it is
it's just
special.
way more special.
Yeah.
Lacey, where does New Year's Day rank for you?
I love the meaning behind this song, that it's not just about the person that you're kissing at midnight. It's about the one that you're waking up with the next day and cleaning up everything after. Please don't ever become a stranger whose laugh I could recognize anywhere.
I know that's oh gosh,
What a line.
Yeah. But in the grand scheme of the last tracks, I have it as number 5.
Okay. Number 5. I'm ranking New Year's Day at number 2. This is very high up on my list. I love how, so Reputation is, it's, busy is not the right word, but it's kind of a chaotic album. There's a lot going on in Reputation. And I love how simple this song is. I love how it just completely brings that whole album to a nice close. And I do love how hopeful it is, because when you're in a stable relationship, not everything, you don't have to go skydiving every day to be in love with someone. It can just be the normal, everyday, mundane things that you're doing that makes you know that you love that person. So that's why I just really love this, because after a crazy album, we have just a really nice, clean, simple song.
You appreciate it a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
love
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great.
So we're moving on to Lover. Daylight was the last track. Anna, where do you rank Daylight?
Daylight for me takes the number 1 spot.
Ooh.
I think Daylight is the most beautiful way to close out an album. I mean, she really, really wraps it all. It's optimistic. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. She references, I once believed love would be burning red, but it's golden. I weirdly remember one day, I think when Lover first came out, I was folding laundry and I was listening to the album and Daylight came on and I stopped. I stopped folding my laundry because I really wanted to listen to what she was saying.
Did you
And
stop
I
while
loved it.
you were holding your shirt up in midair?
And then I just held it.
You just held it there.
And it was actually my Lover t-shirt. No, but yeah, I think this is such a beautiful song, and I think it's the perfect closing to Lover. So I have that as number 1 because
Awesome.
I want to be remembered for the things that I love,
Okay.
not the things that I hate.
So Amy, where does Daylight rank for you?
It's swapped with second place a couple of times, but it ended up at 4. I love the song. I've woken up with the song in my head. I just adore it. I might switch it again to second place. I don't know, but right now at this very moment,
Did
it's
you already
at
say
4.
that you have at 3? Because I know you've been.
I did. Well, yeah, New Year's Day. They've all
okay.
swapped with 2.
Okay, yeah, because they're all.
But
kind
this
of
one
right
did it
there.
the most.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Lacey?
Such a beautiful song. Such a perfect ender. I love that. I know that we recently broke down Lover, and it was such a nice ending to that album, and nice to see that she was putting the negativity behind her, entering into positivity, and then that's kind of the last that we've officially heard from her through her own music. She's still writing, and we'll hear glimpses into her life, but then she went into the fantasy folklore and evermore.
Right.
But I love this song. I love the vulnerability of it, recognizing that not everyone's had your back, but now you have someone who does. And it's a 2 for me.
Yeah.
So where does Daylight rank for me? I'm putting it at number 3. I love it. It's such a good song. Like we've said with a lot of these songs, it's just so
Yeah.
hopeful and positive. And it's really great after hearing so many albums of heartache and breakups to hear, well, kind of like New Year's Day, just to hear another wonderful song when she's in love. Things are good.
Yeah.
She doesn't have much to complain about right now. And I just love that. And also when I think of this song, I kind of feel like I think about the album cover of Lover. It's just the
Yeah.
colors are just so pretty and beautiful, and it's just it just works. Everything
Yeah.
about it's just perfect. So it's a number 3 for me.
Also, the live from Paris version
Oh, yeah.
is just
Really? Well, you can just stop. The live from Paris version
of anything.
of any of the songs
any of the
she sang are
songs
just wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Which
And
really makes you hate that we did not get Lover Fest.
I know. Oh my god. But I do think one of my favorite parts of the live from Lover Daylight version, when you hear somebody in the background being like "Golden" or whatever it was that they screamed before everybody else. Gosh, I love it so much.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to 2 of the most recent final songs from her albums from Folklore, Hoax. Anna, where does it rank?
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I am.
It's okay.
I know. I'm looking at Amy.
It's okay.
I am.
I feel
it's just-
fine.
It's tough because, oh man, Folklore is something else. It really is. And the other day I was listening to Folklore live from Long Pond studio sessions because I think they just hit different. But I just on the list I had to put Hoax at number 9, and that hurts me.
Oh.
It really hurts me to do. I didn't want to. I didn't want to do it. It's just,
I do know. I really, really do know. I exact opposite of you.
I knew I
have
knew
it at
that
the very top.
Number one.
It's number
I
one.
know.
Just her storytelling,
I know.
the despair. I'm with her in that moment when she's telling the story. I just love it. And I like sad songs.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
All right.
So do I, and that's why it kept switching for me this morning. But it finally landed in the 7th spot, and it was hard to put it there because I do love this song.
Mm-hmm.
I do love Cliffside screaming, "Give me a reason. Your faithless love's the only hoax I believe in." Just so, and what you did to me was dark. I mean, come on, it's just ripping me apart. I love it. I love it. It was so hard for me to put it at 7.
I think part of the reason, for some reason, like, I feel like after I listen to Hoax, if I listen to Folklore in track order, I feel like I'm still wanting more. Like, it doesn't feel like a closer for me for some reason. Like, I feel like there should be another song after that. I don't know why, but that's why.
We did like the really long episode before we started this podcast on our own individual podcast. And this was this album, Folklore, wasn't it in we could put it in a different order that the storytelling, and Hoax wasn't supposed to be at the end.
That does
I feel
sound familiar.
Yeah, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
You feel that way.
Yes, thank
I'm
you.
making excuses
Thank
for
you.
her.
Thank you, Amy.
So, I'm putting it, it's number 8 for me.
Okay.
I'm
number
glad I'm
8.
not the only one.
Yeah, it's number 8. It's just not a song that I frequent that often, if I'm honest. It's not, sometimes it comes on.
You mean you can't listen to it on repeat over and
No,
over and over and
no,
over
Amy,
again like
I'm not.
me?
I can't.
You're
do
such
it.
a little folklorian.
It's a good song. I do think probably in Folklore and Evermore, her final tracks have, like, lyrically some of the best lyrics that she's written.
Absolutely.
But, it's just, this was just a little hard for me to just stick with.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it at number 8. And so now we got to wrap things up with Evermore. The last track was Evermore. Anna, where does it fall?
I have Evermore at 6.
Okay.
I feel like that's a good spot just because I had some very clear favorites. And then I have Evermore at number 6. I do love the idea of ending the album with the title track.
Yeah, it's different.
I love that. And I do think that the piano in Evermore, like, it sounds like the end of a movie to me. And so it sounds like the end of an album. And it's gorgeous. And I love it. And I do love that song. I have it at number 6. It would have been higher if she didn't write Daylight, Clean, Long Live, Our Song or Beginning Again.
So this was one of the ones that was switching for 2, but it just didn't, like you said, it doesn't beat all those you just listed. So Evermore's at number 5, middle of the road. I want it to be higher, but it just didn't make it.
I love it. It reminds me of, I hear Edgar Allan Poe in this song. Yeah, Evermore, Ravenmore, whatever it is. I don't remember what the name of the poem is that he has. Something like that. It's something more. Anyway, I hear that every time, and I love it. It's haunting. Sounds great. It's a 6 for me.
So Evermore for me falls at 9. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm sorry to the Evermore stands out there.
It's all right.
It's a great song. Love it. And sorry, and I was a little distracted. We have a piano. I can't play piano, but we have a piano directly underneath the soundboard that we're using right now.
Yeah.
So while y'all were talking, I was like, can I play that piano?
are you
I
gonna
can't. I can't.
Little Evermore?
Evermore? Yeah. That's all I got.
Evermore, Nick's version.
Wait, that sounds like...
That's just
like
I
an
don't-
80s song.
I don't know that this keyboard has like 100 settings on
It's
it, and it was
like-
just whatever the last whoever used it 5 years ago.
Evermore meets 1989
Yes.
meets Vault Track. I see what you're trying to do, though.
That's all I got.
That was great.
That's all the musical ability I have.
Woo!
Luckily, Taylor Swift has more musical ability than all of us.
Yeah, that would be
And-
ranked at 10.
That's not even making the cut. That's in the vault. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode of 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. What would your rankings of the very last tracks on her album be? Let us know. You can always hit us up. All the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast. And be sure to join us next week because we're going to be breaking down Come Back, Be Here.
I feel like our wounds are better. Like, the more rankings we do, we're not as offended. That's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.